I'm on a bike ride today to Alresford, which is up the River Colne, up that way, or down the River Colne if you prefer. And I'm going to be operating on this salt marsh HF portable. And so this is the River Colne. This area is what of Colchester in Essex is called the Hive, which is not the most attractive place in the world. And behind me, these are all flats and student accommodation for the University of Essex, which is kind of behind me. And there used to be quite a large port here. It's largely silted up now. In fact, this sort of overgrown area here used to be the turning basin where the ships would turn. I'll see if I can find an old photograph to illustrate it. But yeah, so it's pretty run down, although all this has been built up. There's a lot of rubbish down there and whatnot, and the university's up in the, a couple of the tower blocks are up in the distance. So I'm going along what they call the Wivenhoe Trail, which is a cycle trail and walking trail, which is goes to through Wivenhoe, past Wivenhoe, and then all the way up to Alresford. So anyway, I just thought I'd stop and show you the an area of outstanding natural beauty. So I think you'll agree, it's quite stunning. Thank you. Thank you. Cheers. Okay, so I've arrived at my destination, and I'm going to operate probably from just over there, so I'll sort of set back from the paths over here. Okay, I'm ready to set up. I just thought I'd talk you through what I've brought with me today. So I'll start with the radio. So I've got the Xiegu X6100, and this little bag here. It's got all the peripheral bits and bobs in it, microphone, etc., power lead, and I've got a Yuasa 12 volt 2 amp hour sealed lead acid battery, which I'm going to try not to use, but that will, if I plug that in, will give me an extra 5 watts, because the radio will only run 5 watts on the internal battery. Got my stick analyzer, Rig Expert stick analyzer. Got some bags to put some either stone in or sand off the beach to anchor my guys. Pegs if I decide to go into the mud, which is a bit easier. Might be a combination of the two. And I've got my Sota beams, carbon 6, so it's a carbon fibre pole from Sota beams, as the name would suggest. And over here are the guys. Over here I've got the radials and the radiating element for the vertical, and a length of RG174. That's the centre feed point for the aerial, which I've featured this on videos before, and a buddy pole choke panel. But what I've also brought with me today, and I've made these up and I haven't actually used them yet, so that I can switch bands with the vertical without actually moving the guys. I've made up some radials and elements for 17 meters, 15, 12 and 10. So if I get the inclination and the time, then I might put them on, switch them out, and check the analyzer. Just on the carbon pole, sort of conventional wisdom would say that you shouldn't really use a carbon pole for vertical antennas, and that's what I thought as well. But I've used it a few times in the past and seems to work okay. And Richard from Sotabeams, G3CWI, a few years back now, did a video where he did run some tests on the carbon pole and determined that any effect using the carbon pole over a fiberglass pole was negligible. And I got these little jumpers, which so that I can attach these to the guys and change the radials out, because obviously the radials for the higher bands other than 20 are shorter, so it makes sense to sort of start on 20. Anyway, I'm going to put it all up and then I'll come back and see what happens. Okay, so I've just put the analyzer on, and the sort of, you can see, I'll take a screenshot of that. But I actually added on the radiating element, I actually added another small piece of wire. Well, I say small, maybe 6 or 8 inches, because last time I used it, this vertical, I needed to get the resonant point lower, and I think I've kind of overdone it, which I thought I might have done anyway. So what I'm going to do, I've bought me little wire cutters. I'm just going to like lower it and snip a bit off, and then try it again. Okay, so I've cut this much wire off, which is most of the bit that I kind of grafted onto it anyway, and it has brought it up, the resonant point up quite a bit. So I'm going to leave it at that. I could cut a bit more off, but I'll let the ATU in the radio take care of that. That's good enough for me now. And every time I put it up, it's different. I might put it up somewhere else, and it'll be fine. So that'll do. I'll connect the radio up. So let me just show you where I am, what I'm doing. So this is the I don't know, I'll get a bit of that on there, a bit of seaweed on me guy. So I've shown this this setup with a vertical on numerous occasions, and so this is the centerpiece. The feed point is actually homemade of MDF, medium density fibre board, and then I've just got 3 radials coming off, and they're attached to the guys. Now ideally, really, because the radiating element is not right at the top anyway, ideally I ought to have this this feed point a bit higher, but which wouldn't be that difficult to do. I just need to put something underneath the triangle bit to stop it coming down as far, and then that way the radials would be sloping down rather than just sort of like hovering above the ground. But it seems to work anyway, and ideally as well, you could do with a longer pole, so it'll have the radials coming down at about 45 degrees or thereabouts, which is a closer match, or should be a closer match, to 50 ohms.
Sorry, please stand by. 2 Echo 0 only.
2 Echo 0, Washington, Mexico, Germany, portable.
2 Echo 0, Whiskey Mike Golf, Whiskey Mike Golf, yes sir?
Yes, portable station, 59003, number 3, roger.
So 2 Echo 0, Whiskey Mike Golf, yeah, 59, radio, yes sir?
Thanks very much, you're also 59, number 3, roger.
Roger, thank you, 73.
Okay, so I've worked one Romanian station there in the Romanian contest, and if you're wondering why I gave them a serial number of number 3 and not number 1, because it was the first station I worked. It's because I was actually out yesterday and worked 2 stations. So anyway, what I'm going to do is there's a couple of stations there on 17 meters. So I'm going to change the radials and the radiating element out for 17 meters and see if I can work 1 or 2 and maybe put a call out as well. But I think I'll probably connect the battery up as well. So that contest station there was with 5 watts. So I'll connect the battery up and probably run with 10. Okay. So I've changed the radials, so they should now be good for 17 meters, and obviously they're shorter than the 20 meter ones. So I've extended. I've put on attached this bit of polycord, paracord. And then the radials for 17 meters are clipped on in the same way as the 20 were, but obviously they're shorter. And this paracord is actually long enough so that if I want to put the 10 meter ones on, I can, because obviously they're even shorter still, and that saves me moving the guide points, which is a bit of a pain if you're using pegs as I am, as opposed to the bags. With the bags it's easier because you just lift them up. And I did make a bit of a boo-boo, because all of the radiating elements that I've made for each of the bands, I've actually attached a male banana plug on there when I should have put a female on. So actually what I've done is I've left the 20 meter element on and I've just cut it. And actually I forgot to take the bit off that I cut. So I'm just gonna take that down and take that off, and I'll sort that out later. Two Echo Zero Whiskey Mike Golf Portable.
2 Echo Zero Whiskey Mike Golf Portable. Good afternoon, you're 5 and 9, 59 on Flora Fauna. Oscar Mike Fox Fox 001. Oscar Mike Fox Fox 0061, and you are about.
Yeah, thanks very much. You're also 5'9", also 5'9". My name is Kevin, Kilo Echo Victor Alpha November. Kevin is my name, and running just 5 watts, 5 watts only, Roger.
Roger, Kevin. Great audio for 5 watts. I'm running 10 watts, 10 watts from an Electrac AX2 into a wire vertical antenna hoisted up in a tree. The name is Jakob. Juliet Alpha Kilo Uniform Bravo. Jakob is my name. And nice to talk to you, Kevin. 2 Echo Zero Whiskey Mike Golf Portable. Oscar Mike 1 Whiskey Sierra Portable.
Thanks very much for the contact, and enjoy the rest of your portable operation from the Flora Fauna. 7-3, bye-bye.
Thanks very much, Kevin. Have a lovely day. Thanks for the QSO, and happy operation. 73, this was Oscar Mike 1 Whiskey Sierra Portable. Bye-bye.
7-3, bye-bye.
This is Oscar Mike 1 Whiskey Sierra Portable.
So I set up for 17, and I was getting a very high, kind of infinitely high SWR, and I worked out it's actually something to do with the feed point here. So I've kind of grafted back on the extra bit on 20 meters that I cut off of the radiating element, and I've put the 20 meter radials back on. So yeah, just running still on 5 watts. So, but it is starting to get a bit cloudy. I'll persevere for now, because it shouldn't take me long to pack up if it does start to rain. But if it does start to rain, it looks like it could be quite heavy. G0NAD, G0NAD, 2E0 WMG portable. Morning. G0NAD, G0 Golf 0 November Alpha Delta from 2 Echo Zero Whiskey. Okay, the weather's closing in, so I'm quickly packing up. I'm on my phone as well, my camera's died as well, so I was just going to try a sked via WhatsApp with Richard G0NAD, who's just up the road there. I've just messaged him. I felt a few spots and the wind is howling. Okay, that's me, I'm done. The rain didn't come, but it might. So I've got a paddle. I've got a pedal home now. And I wouldn't be surprised if I get wet. But I think I flapped a bit there because it really did feel as if it was going to bucket. So anyway, right, that's it. 7-3.